Wait.
You cannot give me the cue and then say wait.
It's cool because my fucking nose really itches right now, and I don't know if the world wants to see this. No.
All right, go
Ray,
ahead.
what the fuck is you doing?
What?
You could go.
Continue, fat man.
What is happening?
Just go.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to our special edition of Unhinged and Undocumented. I am your host, the big man. With us always is the twin magic, Cody and Rafe.
Hey.
And our resident undocumented man who is again experiencing technical difficulties, Mr. Cruz.
Hello, happy early turkey day, everyone.
Early turkey cruise, nice. And ladies and gentlemen, joining us for our very first time on Unhinged and Undocumented, our very first guest, Mr. Jason.
The neighborhood troll is here. Let's go.
Our favorite troll.
Right. Well, everybody, I'm sure you're wondering why we're coming at you today instead of our normal Friday. Reason is we got some football now, and not trying to brag, but you know, I'm not trying to brag.
I can't read it. I can't read it. It's too fucking small.
Jimbo, we cannot brag, okay?
Hey.
I mean, it's not a bragging game in tomorrow's game.
We lost what, 6 games straight? 7? I'm happy we finally won. Let me love this. It wasn't pretty. It was a terrible win. We should have lost in the end.
Bro, you can't argue with the method, but you got to agree with the result.
Yeah, but goddammit, we gotta win. That's all I care about.
Speaking of which,
Your
I
guy's
actually
intimidated by his bookie. Come on now, we all know this.
I actually have a clip that I wanted to play.
Run it.
Yes, the biggest highlight from the game. So everybody, please sit back and enjoy.
3 ability to stop the clock, 2 timeouts, and the 2-minute warning. They can kick this thing deep.
Line drive to Turpin, and it bounces through his left.
Going downtown.
Here comes.
Yeet. Hit that B button.
Okay, so that looked like it was straight out of Madden. How well that was performed,
Yeah.
It really was.
or the NCAA cheat code, basically. You know, just crazy. Dude's fast. Can't deny skill right there. Except for he's got butterfingers. You know, at
What's
least he made up
crazy
for
is
it.
the 2 best players on the Cowboys this year came from the USFL.
Oh, goodbye.
Why,
everybody, see you later.
Gets into the open field and it's
Later,
over.
You know the move on Madden. He hits a spin button to the
You know-
outside.
Oh, my
Done.
God.
I
Look at that. I
mean,
mean,
Madden. Look at that.
Jeremy Reeves. Then
That was
Jordan
crazy.
McGee,
That
number
is so
58.
bad.
He just completely
good.
gets out of his lane inside, and
Bro,
you see
I
him
swear
reach
there's
his
somebody's
hand out
cleats
there,
left
but
on the
that's not
field.
gonna do it against a guy like this.
No doubt.
That motherfucker is so fast.
Dude, for
That
real.
was so. Like I said, the fact
Dude,
that
he is so freaking fast.
they said that he has three of the top speeds, the 3 top speeds in the NFL this year so far.
Wow. That's what they were calling him during it.
Well, we know
during
it's
the
not
play, they
Daniel
said he
Jones
was the
this year.
fastest man in the NFL, but
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, like I said, Dallas with the win last week over the Commanders. Again, wasn't a pretty win. I know, don't get excited, but you know what? We might win the Super Bowl, so, you know, there's always that.
oh god, Jimbo,
Okay, on a serious note, as atrocious as it is, there's there's shit that presents itself to make a run for playoffs, and it's disgusting. I mean, all the things that have happened, but like, it's just crazy that it's even a possibility, even if it's like 0.01, whatever the hell it is. It blows my fucking mind. That's even a thing.
Anyway, but yeah, moving on. So Dallas picks up the win over the Commanders. As you all know, tomorrow is Turkey Day. And there is some football on Turkey Day, which we're here to talk about tonight. The game for us tomorrow is the Dallas Cowboys will take on the New York Giants. This some fun facts for you. This will be the 126th meeting between these two teams, the third on Thanksgiving. Dallas won the last one on Thanksgiving against them in 2022 by 28-20. Jason, the reason we asked you on today, man, because you are the Giants fan, and there has been a lot going on in the Giants organization.
Oh, that Diva show? It's crazy. John Mara and his fucking nutcrackers over there? I don't Boy.
Well, you see, also the reason I wanted to have you on today is because I think like a year or so ago, you and I were actually discussing Daniel Jones and the New York Giants.
Yeah.
And so now that we've taken the laps around the track and now that we're here, what are your thoughts about everything that's transpired?
It was coming. I mean, you've seen the plays he's missing. They're wide open receivers in the middle of the field. There's just you're trying to play Superman when it's not necessary. Why are you throwing into triple coverage when you got somebody out? You know, like it just doesn't make sense. It's all a numbers game. I feel that we made the right decision getting rid of him. I mean, they shouldn't have signed him in the first place. I was a big believer that he didn't prove himself.
Yeah.
But all things considered during that,
it was. Yeah. I think it was Dayball. I don't think it was him.
No, it was Kafka. It was their offensive coordinator that made me look good.
See, right? Yeah.
Then you got Saquon. You know what I mean? Like, you just had weapons then that were making you look something better than you were. It was also everybody in the NFL's first season seeing this whole system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't very much different than, I mean, New York Giants football is New York Giants football. They play the same type of football. I mean, as we can tell from the quarterbacks they draft the same type of quarterback every time. I feel like Daniel Jones is actually better than what he portrayed. I just think it's time for him to get a fresh start. I don't think he's going to make it big. He's going to be a bench rider the rest of his career. I mean, and he's not worthy of starting.
Okay.
Did you see where he went?
Vikings.
Yes, actually saw it today. Breaking news earlier this afternoon about 1:30. The Minnesota Vikings actually picked him up. And he will be serving as the number 3, I believe, right? For the rest of this year.
Yeah, he signed with the practice squad, I believe.
Yeah, but they're thinking he's going to move up and be the backup.
I think that's why. Yeah.
Well, you see, me and my boss were actually talking about that today because he was a little confused as to why Minnesota would pick him up and whatnot. And Jason, you said you thought that Daniel Jones might do better somewhere else and whatnot. And that's just something I was going to ask you. Do you think that Daniel Jones is a mediocre player, or do you think it's just the system that he was in?
Definitely mediocre. There ain't nothing about that man that screams superstar.
Okay. So
we were forced into that contract because if you looked at that quarterback market, you'll see some of the one-offs that did decent and whatnot, but there was nobody that screamed, "Pay me." There was nobody that screamed, "Hey, come get me in the draft." It was just kind of that situation: is do you give this guy a chance? He's proven his loyalty. He knows football. I mean, they always sign some. They always have somebody that knows the game on paper.
Mm-hmm.
It's just being able to put it in the air.
Yeah,
I mean, I would say, as far as the Giants go, if they get a quarterback that's even, I would say even a game manager, right? If they get somebody that's even a game manager that can get Neighbors the ball, because Neighbors is
wide open every time.
Dude, I mean, I think if he has a good quarterback or a decent quarterback, Neighbors will go off, and the Giants' offense will look a lot better than it did with Daniel Jones at the helm.
100%. I feel Yeah, I think even if they get somebody that can scramble a little bit, outside the pocket a little bit, give our offensive line isn't the greatest, so they're gonna get beat.
Yeah.
If you got somebody that can move up, move in, move out, you're gonna have a better shot. I was very upset that Jaden Daniels didn't come to the Giants just because of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I wonder how that would have fit. But so I was talking about this with my boss at work today about why, and you mentioned that you think he's going to be a bench player and whatnot. So we were talking about this, and what a lot of people keep forgetting about the Minnesota Vikings is that Sam Darnold is not their starter. Sam Darnold is their number 2.
Right.
The person who's projected to be number 1. Yeah, exactly. The quarterback out of Michigan, J.J. McCarthy, who had a season-ending injury in the preseason, was slated to be their starting quarterback. And
good.
Yeah, he was looking good. But injuries happen. We understand this. Sam Darnold stepped up to the plate, and we've talked about it quite a bit. I think Sam Darnold has played some pretty decent football this year. Now, I think they have definitely taken a step back and slowed down a little bit. They're not looking as impressive as they have been looking. But I was telling my boss, the reason that I think that they went and picked up Daniel Jones is so that they have somebody to compete for number 2 in Minnesota next year. Because at what I feel is at the rate that Sam Darnold is playing, there are teams that need a starting quarterback.
Yeah,
you look at that. You look at the Raiders. You look at the Raiders. You potentially look at the Jets. You look at the Saints, Cleveland situation and whatnot.
I mean, you even look at the Giants and how they're hurting right now. Like, if they can't get a draft pick, the quarterback that they want that doesn't fit, they'll go get another one that's sit in place for another year.
Yeah,
until your boy Manning gets out and they can suck up to the Manning family and see what they can fucking find.
You can't have him.
That's really
you can't have him.
That's just, but that's Mara, bro. Mara is so far in their pocket, it's not funny. I mean, not literally, but he loves him some Eli.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so I definitely think that releasing Jones was the right move. So I have a tier of where I put quarterbacks and whatnot, and I don't know enough about the Giants to know if Daniel Jones is just a mediocre player or if he was just not in the right system. Because the way I look at it is, you look at quarterbacks like I said, like Sam Darnold. You look at quarterbacks like Jared Goff. Even Jameson Winston, you can make the argument for him as well. I mean, look at Goff now. He's with the Lions. He's killing it. Sam Darnold, who started his career with the Jets, I believe. Or no, not. Was it with the Jets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Sam Darnold.
On that note, Goff was always good. He just couldn't get over the postseason slump. When he got into the postseason, he had a rough time.
Yeah.
I mean, he was opposite Nick Foles.
Well, you say that, but when I remember Jared Goff playing with the Rams and whatnot, to me, in that system, he was mediocre. I didn't think he was that good, honestly. But then he leaves St. Louis in that trade, or my bad, not St. Louis. He leaves the Los Angeles Rams in that trade with the Detroit Lions, and he goes over to Detroit. Then they bring in Dan Campbell, and
he's got
Jared
something to
Goff,
prove.
definitely one of the top 5 quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, he's got something to prove. He didn't. He made it to the finals there, made it to the final games with the Rams, and then they said, "Hey, bye, you're not good enough. Let's go get somebody who's good enough." And
they definitely did when they brought in Matthew Stafford.
And then they won. So they look like geniuses in that sense. And now, I mean, if I'm Goff, I have a chip on my shoulder, the size of the Grand Canyon.
They made it to the NFC Championship game last year, so I mean they're going up.
Oh yeah.
It was there. That is without a doubt probably the team that's going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I don't see anybody else beating them in the NFC this year.
Well, I say it's between. As much as I hate to say it, it's got to be between them and Philly. Because with Saquon doing what he's doing, I just can't go against him right now. As much as I hate Philly, I just...
Yeah. Well, they got all the weapons, too. I mean, so when it's not Saquon, it just gets tossed around really well. I mean, there's not up to any one man, but any one man can carry it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt. But, well, yeah, I think I could see Philly. I could definitely see Philly and the Lions in the NFC title game. But, like I told you at the beginning of the year, I think I think the Lions are going to be the team to beat this year, and so far they're proving it.
I mean, you meant to say Dallas because that's what you said at the beginning of the year.
I'm a Dallas fan. Of course, it's our year. So, Tommy DeVito, Jason, got the start last week.
No, atrocious.
Your thoughts?
Atrocious. It was atrocious last year. He had a little spark. I mean, and again, yeah, that's what sells it. I mean, come on now. I mean, Italian from New York. I love it. Being from in New York, seeing that, you can't be any more excited for him as a player to go in and make something happen. Like, you want it. You want to root for him.
Mm-hmm.
Being from New York, it's a way of life, man. This is a way of life. But as an actual NFL player and like without the persona, he's good. He's not. I mean, he's also. No one's gonna put us over that edge that's on that staff, except for, I will say, Drew Lock. I feel like he's never got the proper chance in the NFL to prove himself.
I agree. And on that note, Drew Lock is more and more looking like a shoo-in to be the starter tomorrow because Tommy DeVito is still questionable for tomorrow with an injury.
He said that he has forearm. He has an injury to his forearm, and then there's like full body soreness apparently. So I don't know what's.
Maybe a concussion call.
Yeah, I don't know what either. I read the column and whatnot, but I'm sure it'll be a game time decision. But it's looking more like Drew Lock is going to get his first start of the season tomorrow against Dallas.
Lord knows we paid him enough money to start a game, at least one.
True. So, Jason, if the season were to end today, if both football seasons, both college and pro, were to end today, what would you want to see the Giants do in the offseason?
Build some offense. All right, I want them to go out and get Stephon Diggs. I've seen it everywhere, and it's projected a lot of places, but I agree with their statements. Stephon Diggs would add that second layer. He would no longer have to be the first, a wide receiver one. He wouldn't have to be wide receiver one anymore, which we know he's capable of doing, but he's on the older side now. He's getting beat up.
Yeah.
Put him wide receiver 2 and go out, get a couple shore up the offensive line. We saw in the beginning of the season the offensive line looked great. They looked pretty good. There's obviously there's holes everywhere in the NFL right now. But shore up the offensive line and get you a quarterback. At least try it, one last ditch effort for the GM, because I kind of hate how they've done Daboll and showing. They kind of gave them, here's last person's regime, and it's kind of a clusterfuck, but here you go. And
see what you can do with it.
Yeah, and they were forced into a situation, it was just kind of forced, and it wasn't ideal. They did what they could with the situation, and I understand it. But I don't want to see them this whole 3-year turnaround with GMs and all that. It just isn't working. Why keep doing it? Give it 4, give it 5. I mean, I've seen a lot of teams they turn it around because they're missing just that one piece, and I feel like the Giants are really missing just that one piece now to make it happen. One major piece, obviously, and then a couple supports, and I feel like they can make it. I mean, Sexy Dex takes over a whole NFL game. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll end all this with the questions, and then we'll dive into the games and whatnot, and we'll get our predictions and scores and all that. number one, first round pick. Who would you like to see them go after? Or what? Maybe not who, but what position?
I mean, if they're first round, I mean, a quarterback's the only way. Honestly, I don't know who yet. There's Cam Edwards. Shador has the potential, and he has the big personality, which screams Big Apple. But I don't know if I want the show, because you know what comes with it. You know,
a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, you just get a bunch of, and when things don't happen right, I mean, you see how. I mean, rightfully so.
Well,
I mean,
he's already shown in college. He just throws his team under the bus. You don't want somebody like that on your team, especially if he's the leader. You can't just say, "Oh, my O-line didn't block for me. That's why I got sacked." Well, duh, we know that, but you can't.
Yeah, you see how Neighbors is acting right now. It's kind of been wishy-washy week to week when they interview him. You know, I kind of just want him to put his head down and go for it. I mean, he's publicly saying he's not getting the ball because he's right. He's not getting the ball. He definitely needs the chance. Just throw it to him. Make him go get it. You know, if he's that open, make him go get it. But I feel like adding a couple pieces around him will support that. But if you take the show, who knows what you're going to get with it, you know? The good, the bad, the ugly. I don't know if I want to find out as a fan. It's already been ugly.
I'll be honest.
Has to get good, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if him being drafted wasn't until later in the first round, kind of like was that Lamar? That was kind of, everybody was getting worried because he wasn't drafted until later. Everybody was like, "What the hell? Why is Lamar still on the board?"
I'd have to look that one up. It's been a while.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I think he was drafted like towards the end of the first round, and everybody was like
everybody was going to sleep type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was starting to get worried. And I'm kind of thinking that might be the Shador thing too, just for the simple fact of everybody knows that he's going to come with baggage because of who his dad is and because of the way that he's acted in his press conferences and how he's pretty much acted like his shit don't stink. And in my opinion, he hasn't been the most impressive quarterback this year. That's just my opinion.
I was literally about to say, we actually talked about this either last week or the week before that, because there's been a lot of talk about, well, Dallas should go after, Ashton Genty and then make some trades to get another first-round pick and go after Shador Sanders. And I wanted to slam on the brakes on that shit because look, I'm not taking anything away from Shador Sanders. The guy's a baller. He's definitely shown that he's a baller in college, but he's also shown that he has a lot of weaknesses and whatnot, and we've seen it happen. There's players that play really well in college that don't translate to the NFL very well. There's players that play mediocre in college that translate to the NFL very well. I just don't think that Shador Sanders is going to be one of those people that is playing pretty decent in college, and I just don't think he's going to translate very well to the NFL.
I think he's just going to play pretty decent in the NFL. I mean, I don't see him turning around the whole franchise, though.
Right.
In a sense.
Not without a lot of help.
Yeah, now if you have every single, like I said, if they went out and got every piece, I see it being serviceable and making it happen. I could see him
coming in and doing something like, I guess you could say almost like a Justin Fields situation with the Bears, right? Like, because Justin Fields wasn't horrible with the Bears, but he didn't elevate them either.
Yeah, he didn't have the best team around him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Shador gets drafted that early, I mean, more than likely he's not going to have that much of a team around him either.
Unless it's Dallas.
That's true.
I don't see Dallas going after a quarterback unless it's in the later rounds, because that's what they do. They don't draft first round quarterbacks. The last first round quarterback they drafted was fucking Troy Aikman. And he won them 3 Super Bowls, so I don't know.
I wish we were, honestly, what I wish we would have done last year in the draft and last season? I really wish we would just said goodbye to Dak and drafted Bo Nix.
Yeah, it's always greener on the other side, though, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Jason, you've seen Bo Nix play, right, with the Broncos?
Yeah, I've watched a couple games, and
Dude,
he's
killing it.
Yeah, but just because he's killing it this year doesn't mean he ain't gonna have a second year slump.
Well, yeah, I
I'm
agree.
a 2-year
100%.
man. I want to see it 2 years in a row.
Well, I agree.
Just like that's what's going on with CJ Stroud right now. Everybody was so impressed last year, and this year he's just.
Yeah, but
he's not diving that bad. He's not diving.
I'm not saying like diving, but he's not.
So
flashy.
He's
like
not Superman. He's not Superman.
Yeah.
Also, here's the difference, though. The Texans had somewhat of a team around him last year. Okay, The Broncos don't have anything. They have Courtland Sutton. When was the last time Courtland Sutton was relevant?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're selling him short. Who knows?
Anyway, that's just me, though.
It's the first year, but you also got to remember, Sean Payton's a fucking mastermind when it comes to being a head coach. You know what I mean?
Sean Payton is a mastermind.
He's definitely a mastermind, and then he'll carry on, and it'll take him. Everybody else in the whole NFL will take 5 years to figure out anything to do with any of his offenses.
And to be fair, Russell Wilson, before they benched him, was playing very well. They only benched him because they didn't want to pay him all this money, and if he played a certain amount of games, they would have had to play. They would have had to pay him more. Yeah. So they benched him for that reason.
Yeah.
Well, all that being said, let's get into tomorrow and Friday's games, and let's see what everybody thinks.
I had one more thing. I actually got notification today that the Cowboys just activated Brandon Cooks, so he might be playing tomorrow. They activated him on the active roster.
I love Brandon Cooks. It is about damn time.
Jesus. I will literally die laughing if somehow Dallas makes it into the playoffs.
I will say, I think Dallas needs to start bringing in Turpin more in the slot.
I don't see why that wouldn't be a bad thing.
They need to that's what I'm saying. They need to use him in the slot to utilize that speed. If you get him on a slant route and it's open, he's gone.
I think the only reason they don't is because his route running and separation, I've noticed, isn't quite there compared to everyone else. But I think if they worked with him on that and he was able to get on his brakes faster and just take off the way he can, I think that's when he'll become more of a weapon. But at the same time, they also want him for those kick returns. So I think that's why they're not utilizing him as much if they don't have to.
Well, if you go and you drop the ball.
Wide receivers across.
Yeah, that too.
Anyway. Well, let's hope if Brandon Cooks plays tomorrow, he makes Dallas look semi-decent. And with that in mind, so tomorrow at 3:30 p.m., we have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Giants. They will be in Dallas for this one.
I'm just glad it's dark.
Dallas looked okay against the Commanders and whatnot. They definitely shored up on a couple spots. I will say that Dallas does get another win here, which I'm tired of losing, so it'll be good. So I'm going to give Dallas the edge against the Giants by 10 points.
I'll go Dallas by 3 points.
Yes.
I mean, I don't even want to pick a winner. Like it's awful. Like because I go Giants for first round draft pick. That's what number one draft pick. That's what I go for. No, I'm gonna take the Giants at 3. I want to see Drew Lock do something nasty with it, man. I want to see him get his chance, and I mean, as long as their defense isn't on the field all game, they have a chance.
Yeah.
So,
Rafe,
with Drew Lock coming in, we don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
He did show a lot of flashes with other teams he's been with, the Broncos, namely. I think the defense seems to be more hungry. I think they're out to prove a point. Micah seems to be coming into his late season form, and I mean he's got like 4 sacks in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
not to mention stud man DeMarion Overshown flying around the field.
Yeah, DeMarion Overshown. Oh, and I wanted to mention this guy as well, Josh Butler. This dude came out of nowhere and was making plays left and right last week.
But he also gave up some plays as well, though.
Yeah, but everybody's going to do that. I mean, he just came off the practice squad. I mean, I can't expect much from him, but he did look good for his first start. But needless to say, I'm going to go with Dallas just because I feel like they'll get a couple more turnovers. I think they'll win the turnover battle. I'm going to say Dallas wins by 10.
And Cruz, who you got?
I'll take Dallas by a touchdown.
All right, awesome. So just one more statistic I wanted to give you guys before we move on. With this being the 126th meeting, currently Dallas is 76-47 over the Giants when it comes to this matchup.
Some useless facts, all right?
I'm just saying, and that's not a useless fact, okay? That's just fact. Now, the useless fact of this is that there has been 2 draws between these 2 teams.
There might be another one tomorrow.
If Drew Lock should get the start tomorrow, with all luck, watch he come out and just completely cook us.
Don't.
In front of our home crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, which wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary.
I was gonna say, didn't y'all just lose 5 at home? Like y'all
we've lost like 7 straight, homie. Like
at home.
Yeah.
At home. In the home of shit. I thought it was 5 consecutive at home, and I mean, I don't know. I don't keep track of anybody's records right this moment. I watch games.
Moving on, the first game of tomorrow will be the earlier game. We got the Detroit Lions taking on the Chicago Bears. This one is interesting because I was listening to a couple talk shows, and a lot of people have the Lions on upset alert tomorrow against the Bears. I don't see it. While I will agree that since Aiden Hutchinson went down and whatnot, they're not really getting to the quarterback much. Their defense is doing enough to keep the opposing offense off the field. And when the Lions offense is on the field, they're damn near unstoppable. That being said,
them signing Zadarius Smith helped a lot, though.
I agree, it did. And then, after that, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That's the 2-headed dragon, by the way.
Yeah, exactly, the 2-headed monster, and David Montgomery and Gibbs. Jared Goff is playing lights out football. And not just that, you guys know how I feel about Caleb Williams.
Is he your daddy like Wentz or what? Does he just crawl under your skin a little bit there, man?
Oh boy.
Oh God. It is.
Does he just kind of just get in there, you know what I mean? Just I see
no one gets under my skin.
Look, it's happening. It's happening. The transformation.
First of all, I will go ahead and say that nobody gets under my skin like Carson Wentz because everybody said how great this quarterback was going to be, and he turned out to be garbage water. And I'm sorry, but I do happen to think that Caleb Williams is going to continue to follow in those footsteps. I don't care what organization he plays for. But anyway.
I don't know. I'll say, since Caleb has gotten to the league, he hasn't been what we saw in college. He actually has gotten somewhat of his act together, and I appreciate that. I mean, as from a professional standpoint, that's what needed to happen.
Yeah.
And I was afraid it wasn't going to happen at all. And I feel like he's starting to show improvement. Honestly, I'm not going to count him out as a
I think
a good player.
He started to get hit by them big old boys and was like, "Oh shit!"
Better listen to Daddy.
Out of baby.
Out of baby. So Bears and Lions tomorrow. I'm going to say that while everyone thinks the Lions are on upset alert, I'm going to disagree and say that the Lions are going to take this one by 17.
Jesus.
I'm gonna go bold. I'm saying Lions by 21.
I was feeling that same situation. But you know what? I like to be the underdog. I'll say it's an upset. I'll take the Bears for 3. I'll be wrong. I mean, I don't want to see it. I love the Lions, but because they've been the underdog since forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but forever.
I'll just because it's a division game, I think it's going to be a lot closer. I'll say Lions win by 7.
Okay.
I'll say Lions by 10 points.
Take it back. It's by 13. Lions. I forgot who lives in my household. My wife is gonna break down this door because this is something about the Bears. She's a Green Bay fan. She's a diehard Green Bay fan. Can't say anything about that.
Actually, I'm about to say, actually, that's the next game up on the slot.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we've got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Miami Tua Dolphins.
Bro, stop hating on Tua like that, bro. Leave him alone, bro. Just because he's proved the doubters so wrong, bro. I mean,
he wasn't proved the doubters wrong. Quit putting yourself in a position to get another concussion.
Let the man play. Let him die on the field, bro. If he enjoys it, let him play.
No, we don't want to see that.
No.
I mean, I'm sure you don't. Well, no, we definitely don't want to see that. But I mean, don't put it all out there.
He already took
Some people live. Okay, so some people live for that, man. It's just like there's nothing else to live for, and I get that passion. Now responsibly, obviously, it's not responsible at all.
Mm-hmm.
But
no. You got to think about it. That man's got a wife and kids, too.
You know what the craziest thing is I have not seen him put on that helmet.
Because he said he didn't want to wear it. He was never going to wear that thing.
That's crazy because other players in the NFL are starting to wear it because they don't want to. What happened to Tua happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he said, like, in his first interview before he came back, they asked him, they were like, "Are you going to wear the Guardian cap?" And he said no. And they were like, "Why?" He was like, "Personal choice."
I mean, it is.
First game back, that dude took a running knee to the head.
I mean, you can't.
That's
You
what I'm
can't tell a
saying.
grown man what to do, man. And you're not going to. Someone's going to either have to force the situation.
I will say though, since he came back from that concussion, he's been playing fucking lights out.
He
That's
has.
on the roof.
They showed his stats, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
He forgot how to be bad.
Look, as long as he doesn't take another pop to the head, I guess he'll be all right. Because
they said he's back to Tuscaloosa Tua.
Tuscaloosa
Tua. The last thing I remember of Tuscaloosa Tua is carting him off a field. Let's not go back to that. Okay, I know we joke around about it. I know I joke around a lot, but the last thing I would want to see is him take another hit and see this on the field.
100%.
Being knocked out.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Anytime one of these players go out on the field and their hand just...
Yeah.
It freaks you out, man. It's
yeah, it looks, they're on the field look like they're, like, stuck in, like, carpal tunnel mode.
Yeah.
But, anyway. Aside from the joking around, so the Green Bay Packers...
I wanted to say that I hope Austin Eckler's okay. He took a pretty nasty hit during that Commanders-Cowboys game.
He did. About that. He
went completely limp and did not move for like 2 to 3 minutes.
Now that you mention, I do remember that was a scary sight.
That was no update, huh?
I haven't heard anything.
He's on my fantasy team. Yeah, last I looked on fantasy, they said he's more than likely not going to play this week because he had a concussion.
Yeah, won't clear protocol.
But they don't play until Sunday, so I mean, he could technically still pass concussion protocol before the game. So I mean,
Listen, I got a birdie. His name is Ronnie. Tell Ronnie to get the fuck out.
An idiot.
You're a fucking idiot. So in our final game tomorrow night, we got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Miami Dolphins. Green Bay has looked really well. Jordan Love is kind of, trying to get back into his stride and whatnot. Josh Jacobs is just
beast.
Yeah,
that's all you can describe.
He's
just beast.
He scored 3 TDs last week against San Francisco.
I don't even want to hear it from you, Cody, because I saw the trailer that you and Brett made. Okay, and I will have you know right now, I am not names, but there are people in our league that brought that to my attention and wanted me to veto the trade.
Oh, that big trade! I saw that, bro. I saw that pop up.
I'm not saying any names, but there are at least 3 people in our league that saw that and wanted me to veto the trade immediately.
Jesus, dude, that was
I'm paying them.
The only reason I did it is because Brett. Well, actually, I honestly thought about it for this reason. But because Brett is knocked out of the playoffs and he has no say in anything anymore, so you remember that you traded me Jacobs.
Why are you angry about it?
Huh?
Don't be angry. You're good.
Oh,
you got the best end of that stick.
Oh no, he got a pretty solid wide receiver out of me.
Who'd he get?
Jackson Smith and Jigaba. He got Jackson Smith and Jigaba from me. And Gino loves to go to him. Anyway,
Green Bay game.
Green Bay and
I'll say Green Bay has the better game. Not by much, but I'll say Green Bay takes this one by a touchdown. I just think they have the better defense.
I think I'm gonna go Miami by 3 points.
Okay.
Yes. The bold choice.
I'm gonna say Green Bay by 7. They seem to. Okay, so the first half is gonna be Miami. Watch completely.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be. It's a weird thing Green Bay does. That first half, it just doesn't look. I mean, they keep up, but it's not beautiful. And then by the second half, all of a sudden you open up who won this game, and you're like, what? How'd they win by 3 touchdowns all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Jacobs.
I'll say, I don't know, I'm kind of torn just because of the way that Tua has been playing. But at the same time, the Green Bay defense has been on fire. I think I'm going to take Green Bay by a touchdown, and I think Xavier McKinney's going to get another pick. He's already on 9 of the year. He has 9 picks already this year.
I missed that motherfucker.
That dude is just insane this season. I just think their defense is going to be too much for Tua to handle.
He told them before the Giants let him go. He told them, I'm that man, and he's went out there and proved he's that man.
Mm-hmm.
Bad man right there. But yeah, I don't know if I said the score, but I'm with you. I'm at Green Bay at 7. I think Cruz is ready to go.
What you got, buddy?
I'll take Green Bay. Green Bay by a touchdown.
And then our last game on the docket before Sunday will be a Friday game between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. I still want to call them Oakland.
It's natural.
So last week, the Chiefs barely skated by The Panthers, which is embarrassing. Because it's the Panthers, for Christ's sake. I feel after they lost to Josh Allen and the Bills, they got a little shooketh and forgot who they were. But I do not think that is going to translate to this week. And I think that they will get back on track and remember just exactly who they are, especially Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going to say this one gets out of hand quickly and we'll take the Chiefs by 3 touchdowns.
It's a toughie.
Fuck it. Upset alert. Chiefs lose by 3.
Oh my.
You know, I'm gonna go in on this, but for this game specifically, they just need to slap a mic on on Crosby and just let him get to Mahomes, and I just want to watch that the entire day. He's the best mic'd up player in the NFL right now, and he's great. Yeah. His energy level, the way he gets in people's mind, the way he talks shit, even when they're losing, bro, is insane. Yeah.
Bro, did y'all see that clip of Jameis Winston?
Yes, he said, "Jump off sides already."
He's like, "Jump off sides, goddammit."
He's a funny one, bro. I like his personality too. I've liked him since he came out of college.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he's just never made it happen.
Anywho, sorry, Jason. Go ahead and continue.
But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take I think Kansas City at least by 14.
I'm actually gonna go upset alert too, just on the fact of it's a division game. I don't
wait. Where are they playing?
They're playing in Arrowhead.
Oh yeah, okay. Never mind. Keep going.
Just because of the simple fact of, like I said, division game, and this just feels like one of those games that they're gonna go in kind of not expecting something that the Raiders are gonna throw at them, and I'm gonna say Raiders by 3.
Well, I mean, this would be the perfect scenario for that. I mean, the Raiders literally have nothing to play for except being the upset.
That's usually the games they win.
The Raiders actually looked really good last week.
All right, and Cruz, who you got on this one?
I'll take the referees for. Are the referees going to step in this game as well? No. No, I'll take the Chiefs by. I'll say 2 touchdowns. I know, right? I'll say Chiefs by 2 touchdowns.
I mean, he was spot on, bro. I think Cruz won this week. Jesus.
Dude, I've been calling him that since the whole thing started.
Yeah. I do want to say something there. I won the picks last week. Both your little picks that y'all wanted with the Dolphins and the Seahawks that y'all were so excited we're gonna lose there. They didn't lose. They won.
Oh, yeah. He's right.
Like I saw it, and I told you on both of them. Y'all all agreed it was going to be the same team, and I told you, no, it wasn't. Miami was going to win. Tua was going to win it. You know?
Who did Miami beat last week? I don't even remember who they beat.
It was unimportant because I was right.
It was the Patriots.
Yeah.
Oh, the Patriots? Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you should have known that.
one.
You should have known that.
Jimbo's like, all right, weird flex, but okay.
I don't
I just said I was right. It's all right. Y'all all agreed on some New England. I don't even know how you chose New England to win a game. They're looking awful.
Because we share one brain cell.
I see that. Dallas. Jerry Jones done stuck his wiener in your ears, huh?
Is that the guy with the old balls?
Yes, that was the guy with the old balls.
What was that he said in that video that Jamie Foxx posted? Got a big dick.
Well, with that being said,
5-year plan, y'all. Okay.
Here's one more stat to go on. Turnovers, Giants and Dallas game. What you got on sacks or turnovers, whatever you want to do on that? What you got?
Micah, 2 sacks. Demarion Overshaw get 1. Also, Diggy Zoo will get 1.
Jesus.
So I'll take Dallas 4 sacks, 2 turnovers to 1 turnover by the Giants.
And I'm gonna take Donovan Wilson for a sack off the blitz.
Mm-hmm.
He is good at doing that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got about 5. I got about 5 sacks on the Giants. They've been racking them motherfuckers up all year.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. I mean,
and the Dallas offensive line, I'm pretty sure, is still banged up pretty bad. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a shit
What
show.
offensive line?
they've had one of the craziest thing is the Giants has had more than enough opportunities given to them from that defense.
Mm-hmm.
The defense just gives them the offense the ball, and they just can't seem to move it. Let's see if Locke can make it happen.
We will definitely see. Well, with that being said, I think that's going to bring us to the conclusion. Does anybody have anything they want to add before we say goodnight?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving.
100%. Well, Jason, thank you so much, sir, for joining us on a exclusive Wednesday night show. We appreciate your time, man. Look forward to seeing you and having you on more episodes if you'd like to join us.
I'll be here every week.
My God.
just to crawl under the skin, you know what I mean?
Just keep bringing up Carson Wentz, and you'll get him. You'll get him at some point.
Anyway,
Carson Wentz is visiting you for Thanksgiving.
Or the second
that
coming
would be a mistake.
the second coming of Carson Wentz.
I'm gonna go get you to sign something specifically just for you, Jimbo.
Well, with that being said, you guys, we're going to go ahead and say goodnight. Thank y'all for joining us. We will be back on Friday night with our original scheduled show. Like Jason said, y'all have a happy Thanksgiving from all of us to y'all. For Unhinged Undocumented, I'm the big man with the twin magic, Cody and Rafe.
Yup.
Our special guest, Jason. And, of course, our resident undocumented man, Mitchie Cruz.
One day I'll get documents.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and be blessed.
Deuces, guys.
Peace.
Later.